What if that story was never yours to begin with? What if it was whispered to you, before you could even speak, written into your days by voices that never knew your soul? They gave you words, but not wonder. They gave you answers, but never let you ask the real questions. And you called it reality, because everyone else did too. A dream shared so deeply it became a prison you forgot you were in. Not a prison of bars, but of beliefs. Until one day, a quiet whisper rose within you. Something doesn't feel right. And that whisper was the sound of your soul, trying to wake up. A cage built from textbooks, headlines, diplomas, and doctrines. A mental maze, where your body exists but your soul slowly sleeps. You followed the map they gave you, but the map led nowhere new. Only circles, dead ends, safe walls wrapped in shiny labels. Success, normal, good citizen. They filled the air with noise just loud enough to drown your inner voice. They gave you choices, but all within the same invisible fence. You were trained to seek validation, not meaning, to fear stillness, to run from silence. Because in silence, you might hear something ancient, whispering from within, the whisper that says, "There's more." And just when the maze felt endless, something inside you stirred, not a thought but a knowing, a flicker of memory not found in any book. They filled your mind with answers, but never let you hear your own questions. They trained your logic, but silenced your knowing. They taught you how to measure reality, but never how to feel it. They gave you facts and stole your truth. They starved your spirit, dressed control as care. Sit, obey, consume. Success is money, happiness is buying. This is life. But what if this life is a mask, a grand design to keep you locked? Not broken, but built to bind. What if schools train obedience, not wisdom? What if medicine sells rituals, ignoring the soul's real wounds? What if the system works just not for you? What if they never wanted you to wake up? What if control was disguised as care and comfort became the cage? School didn't teach you to think, it taught you to follow. Medicine stopped asking why, and just started selling how much. You weren't broken, but they needed you to believe you were, because a whole conscious soul doesn't obey. They told you where to look for God, but never to look within. They gave you holy rules and buried your holy power. They called it history, but it was only one side. The rest? Erased, silenced, forgotten. But truth doesn't die, it waits. Beneath every lie you were taught, a memory still burns. You weren't born to repeat their patterns, you came to break them. To shake the dust off forgotten truths and rewrite the meaning of reality with the ink of your own soul. You came not just to live, but to awaken life itself, to feel what machines can't, to hear what silence hides, to remember what the world forgot. Because your soul still knows. It remembers when time moved in circles, not lines. It remembers the wisdom in trees, in stars, in silence. It remembers when earth was a temple, and every step you took was sacred. You didn't chase purpose, you embodied it. You danced with the moon, spoke with the wind, and let fire teach you about transformation. You didn't need permission to be powerful. You simply were, not lost, not small, just waiting to remember. You were the priestess, the seer, the light. You felt it deep down that your thoughts don't just stay in your head, they shape the world around you. That vibration? It's louder than any noise, stronger than any words. Your body wasn't a cage holding you back, it was a portal, a gateway to something way bigger than this moment. You had that old soul wisdom, the kind that knows the universe is whispering secrets all the time if you just listen. You were walking the line between dreams and reality, creating with every breath. But fear? It's just a trick, a story they sold you to keep you from rising. They fed you noise to silence your truth, fed you comfort to kill your fire, taught you to shrink when you were born to expand, taught you to obey when you were born to remember. But you're not here to play small, you're not here to fit in, you're here to break the script, to feel, to question. You don't need anyone's permission to ignite your inner flame. You don't need to carry a crown or wear a mask of perfection because freedom isn't granted, it's remembered. It's not about becoming something new, but reclaiming what has always been yours, the boundless light inside, waiting quietly beneath the noise and doubt. Your awakening is not a distant destination, but a homecoming to yourself. No scars, no past mistakes, no timelines can ever diminish the vastness of your soul's truth. You are not a broken puzzle piece lost in the universe. You are the whole picture, waiting for your eyes to open and see. So stop chasing validation outside and start tuning into the silence within. You were never behind. You were becoming. Every pause, every ache, every silent night was sacred preparation, not punishment. You weren't lost. You were being recalibrated, rewired to carry more light than ever before. Because the world doesn't need more noise, it needs the quiet power you've been growing in the dark. You don't need to catch up. You are the timing. You are the shift. You are the storm and the stillness. And now you're remembering. The same stardust that births stars burns quietly in your chest, waiting for you to remember what the world forgot. You were never meant to just survive this reality. You came to bend it. So I'll ask you again. What if everything you've been taught was a lie? What if the rules were written to keep you asleep? What if school was never meant to teach you truth, but to train you to obey? What if every label you carry was designed to shrink you? What if the fears you feel were planted, not born? What if the world they showed you was just a projection, a carefully crafted illusion, while the real world, the real you, was hidden in plain sight? What if your confusion wasn't failure, but friction? The friction of waking up in a dream they sold you as reality? Because deep down, something inside you already knows. And what if this breath right now isn't passing time, but collapsing timelines? What if it's your soul whispering, "You're ready"?